Hey there, it's Grace. Welcome back. Welcome if you are new. Thank you for being here. Today I'm going to share with you the many ways I track my pips. Pen and ink pairings, for those of you who don't know. I like to shorten everything. How I track them each month, and there's quite a few. One thing to note, although Notion is my jam, I love using Notion. All of these ways that I use are actually only analog. What? No digital captures or spreadsheets do I use? I know, right? Who am I? I'm not using a spreadsheet. What the? Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? Let's go to it. Alrighty, let's get right down to it. First, I want to show you a couple of things. Obviously, I'm using my Swatch notebook because I'm tracking everything in this one. This is a Midori A5. The other thing that I will be using is this is the pen, my beautiful, beautiful Opus 88. I actually finally put the parallel nib in it, so I'll be using that. That's what I wrote this in. I think it's a 1.5 millimeter parallel nib. I also will be using that just to track the numbers. And then I have some of my currently ink pens on the side that I'll be using because I want a little colorful sheet here. Alrighty, let's start with the first way, which is my Swatch notebook. My Swatch notebook. This is how I track. What do I have there? Oh, that's January. This is how I track my currently inked. And it's the most colorful way for me. I love color. So it's the most colorful way for me to showcase the pairings I track per month. And I love flipping through this notebook. Let me show you. I want to show you, this is what I used in 2024. This is the same Midori notebook, but it's a B6 size, and I needed a little bit more room. And this was January. This is one of my favorite pages that I used, that I tracked, that I showcased my currently inked. This is Q-tips. I no longer use Q-tips, although I love what it did. Most of the ink stayed on the Q-tip, so I'm not using them anymore. And then in May of last year, I started adding in baggy swatching. I'm not going to do baggy swatching so much anymore for currently inked. There's only one way I've decided I'm going to do it. And in January, I did this completely forgetting that this wasn't an ink haul, but it was currently inked. So in February, I started doing this, and I love just a smidge of what the color is. And then here's the page. Here is March. And I just want to cover that because that's so bright and colorful and all things. So the first way I track, I should say, my monthly pairings. Let's do that. And all I'm going to do is put down a number. This is Rowan Klingner Cassia. The first way I track is my Swatch notebook. And mainly for pips pairings, that is currently ink. So yeah, that's the first way I track. I love this notebook. Of course, this year I am doing a chronological order of things, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to move this over because that's still wet. The second way I tracked my pip pairings is in the pip notebooks. These are the pip binders that I keep. I have 2 so far. I love that. I think I'm going to continue. I don't know if I want to continue because these are more expensive than I want to regularly purchase. But considering that this is a year and some worth of pages, and I still have lots more room to go. So for instance, if you've never seen these sheets before, these are my pip sheets. So I track a single pen and all the ink in it. And I absolutely love seeing all the ways that I track a nib and the ink in it. That's what this is about. This paper is actually, I found one of the best papers. I did a whole lot of sampling. One of the best papers to use is Irreful. And for me, it's a true representation of the nib and the ink itself. And I gotta share something that I found out only when I was doing this. I have been using this for so long. I am now using the other side of the pip sheet. I'm so excited when I pulled this out to do an ink report, and I had to go to the other side. I was so excited. I've been using them that long. And of course, Leonardo. I always use the Leonardo. By the way, these sheets are available in my shop, and they come in sets of 10. And as of this recording, these sets of 10, what am I trying to say? There's a discount on these sets. If you buy 2 or more sets, you get 10% off your total order. The coupon is going to be in the description, so you can take advantage of that, try them out. So the second way, these pip sheets have changed the way I see pen and ink pairings. Oh, forgot that first. And it gives me, I find that doing that, having a page per pen, doing that gives me an insight. Let me write this number down. Gives me an insight into my monthly matchups, how an ink works with a particular nib. Is the nib better with a wetter ink? All of that information is recorded on the pip sheet. Let's see, what are we doing? Pip sheets. Pip sheets. I love my pip sheets. The cool thing about it is I can see a history of this nib, this pen, and the nib in it, with all the ink that I put in it. I'm so excited. I get excited for an ink report because I get to take out all the pip sheets and I write and see what's what, how did it work before, and how did it work with this particular ink. I refer to those sheets all the time. The third way I track, there's a lot of stuff I'm gonna show you here. The third way I track is something I call my cheat sheets. Now, this is the cheat sheet. This has all of these inks here, or these pairings are on this sheet. And for every sheet, what is that? That's adhesive on my nail? That was weird. Anyway, it has the sample, the color, and then the name of the nib, the name of the pen with the nib. So all of that, same thing that's here. This Swatch notebook stays on the desk, on a shelf on the desk. So I needed something to carry with the pens. And one of the things I'm not a fan of, it's so interesting. I don't intentionally do this, but I don't intentionally match my ink to whatever pen I pick up. If I want to use a teal ink and I have no teal pen that I want to use, what am I going to do? So I started that way, and I don't think I will be a person who matches like that. I love seeing when people do it, but I don't do it. I cannot do it. So I started making these things called cheat sheets because there's an ink in here that's not this color. I wanted to know. And as I'm journaling in my journal at night, I just pull this out and I actually just look at this and see, what am I feeling? Am I feeling the Sailor Zoom nib? Am I feeling the Pilot Metropolitan with a medium nib? Am I feeling a little bit Roaring Klinger gassy at time? So I pull this out. This stays in my notebook, in my pen case with the pens. It's always there. Always, always, always. I actually started to make these cheat sheets, I call them, quite a while ago. Last year, let's see, July. I have them all. I have them all still saved in here. Look at them all. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see them all. Periodically, I do go in and just look at them once in a while because I just love to see. And you see how each, I'm going to show you something else. You see how the stamp is different. I actually got 2 sets of bottled ink stamps because I just love having the different ways. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? That stamp. Isn't that adorable? I have that one. But I started doing these. I started collecting these. So I have all of these as stamps. But I didn't want to always take this out. So what I did is I took each stamp and I stamped it on a single piece of paper. So I pulled this out and I'm thinking, oh, you know what? I want to use this one this month. Or how about this large one this month? Although I generally don't use that because it's too large a space. How about, I love using this one. This is just gorgeous. So I pull this out, I pull the stamp, and then I stamp the paper. I stamp the paper for how many nibs, how many pairings I'm going to use. And then I color it in with the ink. And then I write the name of both the pen and the ink. So this is cheat sheets. That is the next way that I track my pen and ink pairings. We'll do, oh, that's one of the nicest 3s I've ever written, I swear. That is really interesting. So my cheat sheets. That's number 3 way of tracking my pen and ink pairings each month. I absolutely love this whole getup. I love the whole thing. The next way, get that out of the way. The next way I track, I'm going to take this out of the way actually. My pips pairing is something that I've been doing for a very long time. This is actually my journal. One of the things I've done for the longest is I track my pip sheets in my journal. And these are all the currently inked. I should get the other one. Where is the other one? I had a, hold please. This one showcases it a little better, what I do. This, which is the page? This is the page. This was March of last year. These were all my currently inked. But I also wanted to track which inks I bought in a month or swapped in a month. And I also put those on the sheets. That's so cool. This is February ink flight. And then some BPC inks I got in a haul, but all of that is tracked in my journal. As you can see here, I've tracked here. These are the 3 inks that I bought in January. So cool. And I do that every month. What do I have here? Oh, this is this month. This is these inks. These inks are there. I love seeing this in my journal. One of the things I did is I referred back to my journal all the time. And I started recording it in the journal, but I'll show you that in a minute. But these are in the monthly pages of my journal. So the 4th way, let's get that back in here. The 4th way I track is the 4th way I track. Let's get that down. That's in my what do I call that? I know what I'll do. Monthly swatches in my journal. So cool. Alrighty. The other way I started, and I'm not sure I'm going to continue, but I'm going to write them here. because I might still continue to do it, as I said. The other way that I track my currently inked, and you'll see that, let me see if I can find a page where it is. There it is. I started tracking, and this is the same notebook. This is the same in the monthly pages. I track this so that I know this is the beginning of February, and I put them all here. I did this all of 2023, some of 2024, and I stopped doing it. I did not do it in March, as you can see. I didn't add that in. I like it here, but I don't find it necessary to be here because I still do this. So I don't need to be redundant in this. But I can't say that I won't include that anymore. So I will add it here because it's something I'm still doing, but although not regularly. So the fifth way I'm tracking is, and what do I call that? In the beginning of my journal pages. I don't know what else to call it, but that's what it is. Yeah. And I'm just not sure I need to do, I just love having it everywhere. I'm just not sure I need to do it there again. Alrighty. The sixth way I track, which is going back to the journal. I know, you're Gracie, but you're just a bit too much. The sixth way I do, and I've been doing this ever since I started in the pen hobby and writing in my journal pages, right after I finish writing. And I want to show you a couple places. Right after I finish writing in my journal, I write down, I don't know if you can see right there. I write down the nib, the pen, not the nib size, but the pen and the ink. And I write it everywhere. In this one, I wrote it just at the end of I just wrote it anywhere I could put it. But I want to be a little bit more consistent in where I put it. So I'm putting it right at the edge here of each page. So I know exactly, I can flip a page and see exactly which nib, which pen and ink I wrote this particular entry in. So that's another way I track. We'll write that one down. And my journal has a whole lot of ways to track. I don't know why I am doing that, but it makes sense in my brain. It makes sense in my brain. Clickety clackety. What do I want to call this one? What are you doing? At the side. That's something I will just continue to do. I love seeing and knowing, not having to refer back to the front, knowing that, oh, this is the ink and this is the pen that I used. I love that one. Another way that I just started doing is in this notebook. And I totally stole this idea from Simone. I love the idea of this, and I found out she got this from somebody else, but I don't remember who that person was that she got it from. But she showed this notebook, and I absolutely loved how she did it. And this is like an in and out of the pen. So, and don't look at my upside down. This was new for me. The date is upside down. I did not figure out until later that I was doing them upside down. Anyway, with each pairing, I stamped the date. Basically, I'm sorry, Simone, but I really did copy you because I think it's a brilliant idea. So there's the date, there's a little snippet of it, there's the name of the pen, there's the name of the ink, and then some squigglies and stuff. And then this is the thing that I think is really important to see. when did I clean out this pen? Because sometimes I tell y'all, I do not remember when a pen has been cleaned out. And sometimes I don't clean the pens in one session, like these are for March. I probably will end up without, some of these pens will not be, the carryover, so the ink will run out. And I'm seeing here, and I'm actually missing one ink. And I have to go, did I put that on here already? No, I'm missing one ink here, but that's okay. When I clean out the pen, this notebook comes out and I stamp the date. I absolutely love that. And the reason I'm doing that this year, this particular year, where it makes sense for me to use it, is because sometimes I will use a pen and ink longer. I was a diehard, use it for the month, and then that's the end of it. 30 days is all you got, and that's the end of it. But sometimes I really enjoy writing with a pen. So one of the things, like this one, I inked up the Benu Euphoria Earl Grey with Vinta the Maiden ink on February 4th. It is still inked. I haven't cleaned it out yet. It still has ink in it, and I'm going to use it until the ink runs out. Usually I just ink up with a tiny bit, but I'm starting to ink up with a little bit more ink, especially if I know if I've swatched ink, I know I like writing with the pen and I like the ink. That's what happened here. I filled this sucker all the way up and it still has ink in it, and it's not been emptied and it's not been cleaned out. So that is a date. And then Parker Duofold, that probably stay. And there's another one, Interstellar Bronze. I inked that up again this month, and that'll probably stay inked up for a good while. So the other way, now on this pen, on this thing, you can actually see this sheet, let me get it back out. On this, this is so good because it gives me more data about my ink choices, my pen and ink choices. I can see how long, obviously, the pen has been inked. And I'm not gonna lie, so far, I see which pens and inks have become my favorites. I see which ones. So, number 7 is, what is number 7? God, it takes so long to close that pen. Number 7 is my dated notebook. Dated Pips notebook. Oh my goodness, I love that so much. And the last one that it will be used for the first time this year, and the one I'm showing you is actually last year's. This is my series notebook. Remember I did, what did I do? Diamine ink vent, and then I did 30 days in June and 15 days in November, because that's what it turned into. The last thing that how I track my pips, because that is a month that I don't track it in here, but I track it in that series notebook. So number 8, that's a wonky 8, but that's okay. That one is my series notebook. And if I can find more ways to track my pips, I will do it. I get such a kick out of doing all of these every month. I really do. Some would say this is overboard. I say this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love doing it. Tell me in the comments. Let me know in the comments which one of these is your favorite. Which one of these do you use? And which one of these intrigues you? So there's, get that finger down. 3 things I want to tell you. I want you to tell me in the comments. Yeah, I love this. I love this. My Swatch notebook, that's the main way I track it. Pip sheets, which is good. Don't forget there's a coupon for 10% off of 2 sets or more. My cheat sheets. Oh, I love my cheat sheets. Monthly swatches in the journal. That is interesting. I'm so glad I do that. Beginning journal pages. I might continue to do that. I might not. We'll see. Journaling pages at the side in the notebook when I finish journaling. My dated Pips notebook, and I want to do, that looks like an L, and it needs to be a T. There we go. Dated Pips notebook. All the dates of in and then out, and then my regular series notebook, which is only used probably maybe 3 times each year, but it's still a way that I track my pen and ink pairings. Alrighty, that's it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget, before you leave, to give this video a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button because it gets these videos in front, these grace videos in front of lots more people just like you. Alrighty, see you in the next video.